Andy.Sachs here with Coldwell Banker and the Around Town team, your #1 agent in Newtown's #1 office here in real estate. Now, I had an opportunity this past week to sit down with Pat Llodra, our first select woman here in town, and ask her a little bit about what's on her mind. Now, as you know, Pat has done a valiant job leading us through unspeakable times, taking care of those most affected, and turning our attention also to how do we make Newtown an even greater place to live. I hope you'll enjoy the interview. Please share this on Facebook. Again, I'm Andy.Sachs with Coldwell Banker and the Around Town team, and we look forward to working with you. Pat, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate the opportunity and the time out of your, I know, very busy schedule. You're heading into your second term potential, or third?
I'm heading into my third term.
Your third term, okay, wonderful. Well, congratulations. We think you're going to win. Your opponent doesn't seem to be too strong this time around.
Right.
But just so you know, we can get out and, as you've seen a couple of our other videos of some of the other leaders of the town, kind of educating everybody about, on a more casual basis, what our leadership is all about. So if you can tell us a little bit, a little bit of your background, where you came from, and how you ended up here.
Well, I started out as a teacher. I was a math teacher for 8-9 years before I became a school administrator. So I was a high school principal for most of my career as an educator. Retired in 2004. I actually served a year as the principal of Newtown High School as an interim principal before I returned to the state of Connecticut to work with the Bureau of Education and did some reading and speaking nationally on issues of leadership, and worked with school districts that were failing to perform at a satisfactory level. That was my primary challenge.
Interesting. And then, so you turn from working for the state, working for schools. How do you get into politics?
Well,
why get into politics?
Well, I guess why is the question. Well, I love Newtown. I moved here a long time ago, 1970. My kids were raised here, went to school here. I was on the Board of Ed here. I was on the first of the Economic Development Commissions way back in the 70s and 80s. So I had already done great service here in Newtown. So when I knew that I wasn't going to continue in my education career and would kind of downsize my education role or my career path, I thought, well, I could really return to some more full-time service for Newtown. So after I finished the principalship at Newtown High School, I decided to run for legislative council and was elected and loved that role, loved getting back into the government role here. And then I ran for re-election, was successful, and then things just keep going on. And someone said to me, well, why don't you run for First Selectman? So I said, okay, I think I'd like to do that. So I did, and here I am.
And you've done an admirable job guiding us through, I think, a lot of obviously challenging times. This is kind of a canned, loaded question, but maybe the question is, what is our biggest challenge we face now in Newtown? And maybe there's the one that's obvious, and maybe there's one that we don't quite think about.
Well, the obvious one, the short-term, immediate challenge that we struggle with every day is that journey of healing that we're on to fully recover from the Sandy Hook shooting. We reinvent ourselves as a community in the face of this tragedy. So our challenge long-term is to try to envision the greatness that we will be and the real positive belief that our best days are not behind us, our best days are ahead of us. So that's really the overarching vision that I have for the community, is that we've got greatness in our future, so we have to get there. So we've got to work through this difficulty of healing and then work through some of the other challenging issues, certainly taxes, a significant issue. We've got to get a grip on that. We've got to do better to control spending. We've got to attract more commerce so that we balance our grand list better. Those are kind of the management and administrative challenges of a CEO. So running the town is really like running any major corporation with a $110 million budget.
Absolutely.
So as I look to the future, I'm seeing that we're going to be a place that continues, first and foremost, to love children and families. That is who we are as a community. We're a community of families. But we're also a community that has to find the way to honor our elderly citizens by having greater diversity in housing choices and having greater support for them in terms of their costs, the taxation issue. We need a community center, we need a senior center. So all those things are problems and issues, but they're also exciting because I see us continuing to grow and really affirm that the best place that we can be.
I think you raised a great point, and I'm seeing it throughout town in kind of my capacity as a realtor and people wanting to move here, is that I think people see how great we were and how much better we will be.
Right.
And it's been an interesting journey thus far for sure.
It has, and I'm really just so proud of this community. When I'm not here in Newtown, when I'm out in other places introducing myself, I always say I'm the proudest First Selectman on the face of this planet because I serve in the place that I think is the very best community that ever has been. We really are committed, I think, to being a good place, and I honor that commitment. I see it every single day, that people set aside their personal agenda, their personal worries, and say, we need to find a way to grow together as a community in a place that really affirms the goodness that we know we have. So I think that is what's in our future, and that's why people will want to come here. I hear all over the place how people are awed by the spirit of Newtown, by
Absolutely.
our goodness, by our kindness, by our capacity for recovery, by our commitment to each other, and our confidence that our future is bright. So people want to live in a place like that, and I say, come on down.
You're echoing what I'm hearing in my job every day. Is people from out of town who understand what we've been through,
Yeah.
they still say, hey, it's a great place to live.
Absolutely.
So, great. Pat, thank you so much for the time. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. It was
Well,
great
thank you
visiting
for the
with you.
opportunity. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thanks.